A very good day to you. Welcome to Herman Manyora's channel. I trust you are well wherever you are. It's a holiday. Merry Christmas to you and your family. I'm joined by the one and only Herman Manyora, sir. How are you doing today?
Good.
Just good?
Great.
The
also.
festivities getting you?
Wonderful.
I thought you'd be up country by now.
Oh, well, things are a little low.
Things are a little low.
Yeah, but we go off and on, you know. You can go home for a day or two, come back.
You know, I liked your video, how to spend 1,000 shillings
Yes.
for Christmas. Is it really realistic?
Yes,
as you put it?
1,000 shillings.
1,000?
Yes.
For a family of 6?
Let people watch that video.
Go ahead and watch that video. But let's take a look at what is happening politically. As much as our politicians are not speaking, most of them are relaxed. But something is happening with Ruto and Raila. They're saying the Political Amendment Act in Parliament 2021 is taking ahead. Ruto is saying they're paving way for the Azimio la Umoja party that may come next year. Do you think Azimio la party should be as dangerous as they make it seem when it comes to the amendments?
I don't know. I haven't followed it very clearly, but a quick glance at this thing is that we've been having coalitions. And I think this law kind of intends to streamline what is already in practice, being now streamlined and given a legal cloth. I would not find any problem with it. For example, it has been a little odd that you are a P and you are deputizing as running mate to a TNA candidate. That looked to me to be unconstitutional, or at least illegal. And Kalonzo Musyoka, Wiper, running mate and deputizing Raila of ODM. It looked a little, I'm not a lawyer, but I found it a little odd. So if there's a law to streamline these kind of things, I'm not seeing a problem. And then there were issues of political parties' funds, sharing between ODM and Wiper and ANC.
Yes.
And there were issues.
Remember when
so
they
I think
were breaking up?
A quick glance at this bill addresses those kind of things.
Would you read this politically as a way Ruto trying to just show that these people are trying to make bad things for the country, just as they did with the BBI document? Do you think it's just a political move as we head over to Christmas?
No, you know, it is simple. Ruto does not want many parties working together. He wants one monolithic, strong, what he calls national party. So his narrative is being injured by this new bill. If this bill becomes law, it will injure his narrative of one strong national party. Because this bill is saying it is possible for many parties to work together. Yeah.
So that's why he
naturally would oppose it.
Do you think he will be able to win this battle between him and the president, because it was proposed by Amos Kimunya? Do you think he'll be able to win this?
You see, these are some of the contradictions we are seeing. These are government-sponsored bills, and you are part of government. That's why I kept saying, it's good you leave government, because this is a government bill. It's your bill.
Yes.
This bill is being brought before Parliament by William Samoei Ruto. Yeah, this is a government bill.
Because it has been proposed by the government, so it means it has been...
By Ruto himself.
Can we be able to say now that William Ruto is part of government and still the leader of opposition? Is that the situation that we're saying?
That is a kind of... That's abnormality I'm talking about. It's an awkward situation to be in. So what people do, just walk out. Then oppose government from outside. But since he's there and the time is flying, it's okay. But the laws, I think there's nothing major. The numbers they don't have.
About 60.
It has just been fiction.
Yeah.
You know, myth of 150. They are not there. They don't have numbers. And I've even argued, Uhuru and Raila can impeach Ruto if they wanted. It will be politically suicidal for them to do that. But they can impeach him. In terms of numbers, they have the numbers. You see? So they will pass through Parliament. The only tragedy is they will go to court. And the courts are more likely to side with them and therefore annul these laws. Which I'm calling it a tragedy because our courts don't seem to understand how politics plays with law. Law is subservient to politics. If the judiciary interferes with the political moves, you can create a very dangerous state.
I wanted to ask, when you look at the country right now,
Yes.
I've mentioned about the opposition leader. Would you say that the deputy president right now is in a better position to argue for the people, to argue or defend the people when it comes to some proposals by the government? Do you think he should be the one standing up as the opposition leader?
You know, you'll be standing on one leg. So not quite stable. How do you defend the people against government and you're part of government? It's awkward.
Oh,
Nobody can believe you.
oh.
But if you walked out, people will believe you. Now, you see, you want to have your cake and eat it. You want to be in government and oppose government. It doesn't work out.
Do you think time is due for him to walk out and
They
say
are waiting for
we're ready?
February.
Ah,
But I want to warn them also. They should understand politics. They should be talking to me, buying me a cup of tea. You can walk out and elections are extended.
you still hold the narrative that elections might
They
move
could,
on.
yeah. You look at how Chebukati is messing everything. Look at the mess in the IBC.
Oh.
Look at nothing seems to be in order. It might just become inevitable at some point that these elections are postponed to 2023, and you have already walked out. I'm warning my friend like Kalibu Kostani. Please be careful as you walk out in February.
And that's why there are some politicians who are not speaking up to now.
Yes.
They're not showing their side
Yes.
they're in.
Yes.
That's some of the things that they're
Yeah,
trying to
be
avoid.
careful. These are games I'm seeing, and they may not be seeing them. In other words, I think they are in an awkward position, and they are being surrounded slowly. They may not be seeing it, but there's a ring around them. Once the circle is complete, they'll be in big problems.
Okay, the Deputy President has also continued speaking about former Prime Minister Raila Odinga as a state project.
Yes.
Recently he said, we are not going to allow our country to be ruled by a puppet. When you look at the situation that we are in right now, do you think this narrative can easily sell to the people that Raila Odinga is a state project? Even though sometimes you say, even though you have been saying that he's not, Raila can only make the government his project and not the other way around.
But you see, before you say somebody's a project, you have to look at the person. You have to look at his history. Can Raila be a puppet to anybody? Can he be a project? How? A man who is larger than size, I've said this repeatedly. Such a monumental figure. You can't call Raila a project. It's Raila and a project in the same sentence, surely. It's simply not. It can't. A project can't be something
when you
like
look
Raila.
at the way the things are running right now, even
Yes.
with the Political Parties Amendment Act,
Yes.
the government seems to be supporting Raila in so many
Yes,
different
yes.
ways, even in the Azimio la Umoja security. You
Yes,
said,
yes.
when you look at it, you see the president in there.
Yeah, yeah.
Doesn't this also show us that he is a state project?
No, you see, Raila working with Uhuru is not the same thing as saying Raila is Uhuru's project. They can work together in the interest of the country. One doesn't need to be the project of the other. No.
So that is how we're supposed to say it. That
You have
these
to see it.
people-
You have to see Raila as a person who is capable of winning the election and indeed has won at least once or so. His performance in 2013 and 2017, and you looked at the petition in 2013, and you could see what happened in the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
You look at 2017, the elections were annulled.
Uh-huh.
You look at 2007, you know what happened. You know what people have said, including the late Kivuit was the chairman of the electoral body, ECK then. Look at Judge Kriegler. We brought him in from South Africa to come and look at the mess and tell us, pass his verdict. Judge Kriegler told us you could not tell who won. So, Raila is not a person who needs somebody's support to win. No. He doesn't need Uhuru's support to win.
Okay.
However, the state, which is supposed to be the facilitator of elections, sometimes can stand in your way, as indeed it has stood in the way of Raila. So if the state doesn't stand in his way, then Raila doesn't need anybody's support. However, nobody refuses a bonus. Uhuru support and state support for Raila could just be a bonus.
Would this be injurious to Ruto? Because Ruto has been claiming that he doesn't need the president's support, he doesn't need anyone's support for that
He will
matter.
realize that, you see, Raila has shown that he doesn't need the support. 2007, 2013, 2017, he has shown that he doesn't need support to get the finish line and be the first man past the post. He has shown.
Is it possible though?
Ruto is yet to prove
Ah.
he can win an election.
Because he hasn't done a national
You know,
election.
winning and being declared, two things. Raila has won, he has never been declared. So Ruto is, forget about being declared, he is yet to show he can win
Oh.
or get close to winning. Let's be safe. Let's just say close to winning, as Raila has been. I know some people will feel antagonized. Let's say Raila has been very close to winning.
Yeah.
Yes? Ruto is yet to show that.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Can we be able to have an election in 2022 where either presidential candidates do not need the bonus point that comes with the state support? Do you think we can be able to have an election where it can be fair for them, both Raila and Ruto, without the need of state support?
The election should be fair. And indeed, they must be fair. I would suspect they will be fair. But you know how state comes in? State does not even interfere with the electioneering and the voting. Not even the counting. It is the transfer of power that the state sometimes messes. It is sometimes in a 50-50 situation such as ours, where a little tap from the state and you are past the goalpost. It's always like a photo finish. So the state is the one taking the photo at the race course to show which horse. This horse, to the eye, you can't tell which horse has won. So there's what we call Photoshop, a photo finish. There's a man taking the picture. So he provides the picture. Quite often it is always like the nose. Whose nose between the two
Horses.
So the state is the one in the camera room at Ngong Race Course. They can play with the camera a bit, chick, and Raila's nose
seems to be past the line.
Yes, that's what we say by state support.
So for the state support is basically perception, according to you?
Yeah, it's perception, but it is real in terms that if they choose to mess you, make no mistake, they'll mess you.
Okay.
Yeah, make no mistake.
One Kenya Alliance has also been standing strong. It's the end of the year. By now, according to you, we would have thought that they would support Raila, but they're still going for the race. Kalonzo Musyoka saying that Raila Odinga should retire together with Uhuru Kenyatta. You've given us history of the former Prime Minister, how much he has done for the country. Do you think he should say now, let other people take over? I have done my best. I have run my race. Do you think it's time for
Raila can go home if he wants. People have done that and gone home. Mahatma Gandhi never stood for elections. But Mandela stood and only did 5 years. Sometimes the struggle is identified with an individual. And in many cases, that individual who is head of the struggle always takes power when the struggle yields results. So it will be sort of a climax for us to push this thing and then tell Raila to go home. I think it will be only fair for Raila to become the president. So if you look at that narrative.
When you look at it, therefore, does that mean that it's about bringing the fairness out of it, saying that you go take the presidency because you did a lot for us, and someone like William Ruto should wait? Is that what you mean?
It's not a question of we are giving you president because you did so much for us. It is just that you are the most qualified man around.
William Ruto is not qualified?
He's qualified, very qualified. But I'm saying most qualified, and I'm speaking English, my young man.
Yeah. Most qualified. When you look at it in that perspective.
But doesn't mean Ruto can only become president. He can beat Raila. It's possible. Why not?
Let me ask you that then. At what point would you say Raila Odinga should worry becoming president? At what point should you, when you look at Ruto's candidature, when you look at his campaigns, at what point should you say
something terrible must happen for Ruto to beat Raila? I maintain it. I don't support Raila or Ruto. I'm just a neutral political observer. And I'm saying something terrible has to happen for Ruto to beat Raila. Raila is experienced and is playing with Uhuru. Uhuru may look like he doesn't know what he's doing, but he plays a long game. Imagine up now Uhuru has not started anything. He has not shown anything. But you know what? Anybody can deny or over-celebrate. The Raila people may over-celebrate they have penetrated the mountain. But I caution them. Ruto may refuse to accept that something is happening on the mountain. But the truth is, Ruto's numbers are going down at the mountain. He can commission his own polls. He will find he's now doing at 70%. You know, or thereabout. From 80 now 80. And Uhuru has not moved. When Uhuru moves, and when Ruto continues to make the blunders, such as opposing everything from government, opposing Uhuru in everything he does, like this political parties bill. When you oppose it, you are opposing the people of the mountain, because more than anywhere else in the country, it is Mount Kenya people who are coming up with these small parties, because they can't feel safe in a party where they are not the head. They were safe in Jubilee because Uhuru was the party leader. They can't be safe in Ruto's party. They can't be safe in Raila's party. So they feel they are going to be safe in their own small parties, but then vote for Ruto. They have no problem voting for him. But now he's fighting the same parties. So he's fighting Mount Kenya more than anybody else. So these blunders, you'll continue to fight the BBI that seems to be favoring Mount Kenya, you lose a few points. Find this bill, this political parties bill that intends to favor Mount Kenya more than anybody else. Be seen to fighting Uhuru through fighting government bills. And you think your votes from among the Gema people is still intact. You must be a fool. It will go down.
And as you say, Uhuru,
Kidogo wanauma kidogo tu. By the time Uhuru comes up, Ruto will be at 60%.
And yes, Uhuru hasn't come up yet.
When he comes up, Ruto is at 60%, he'll drop it to 50%, Ruto is finished.
And that's according to Herman Manyora.
According to me, yes.
But
in the fullness of?
In the fullness of time. We'll need to have that show next year, in the
Yes.
fullness of time. But until we do have these conversations again, thank you so much for tuning in. I do hope you have yourself a lovely Merry Christmas together with your family. And yes, if you're looking for something to do, you can always talk to us next year so that we can be able to communicate together and start projects together. That's when it comes to our YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and do so. In case you haven't clicked the notification bell, go ahead and do so that once a video comes up, you become the first one to view it. Have yourself a lovely rest of your day, a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.